The citizens of the United States of America will not be dictated to and talked down to by corrupt politicians, tyrants, left-wing bullies, or socialist bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. I know many of them. I don't like them much. Our forefathers are the people who gave us the world's most majestic and enduring Constitution. They are the men and women who crossed the Rockies in covered wagons and who faced unimaginable dangers to win the Wild West and who tamed the wilderness, forged the steel, laid the railroads, dug out the canal, raised up the skyscrapers and built America into the greatest nation in all of history, and we are not going to let it go. Our ancestors just absolutely crushed fascism beneath the weight of American tanks. They took radicalism by the sheer power of American pride, and it's happening. Americans settled the new world. We built the modern world, and from right here in Florida, we launched American astronauts who proudly salute our stars and stripes on that very beautiful moon. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no enemy we cannot match. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is nothing we cannot do. Because we are Americans, and our hearts bleed red, white, and blue.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday's edition. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention on my podcast. I've been announcing that I'm going to be in Florida this week. So yes, I am recording here in Florida, set aside from my normal recording in my Georgia studio where I normally live. I'm here visiting some family members and decided to do a few shows here in Florida. So welcome to a special Wednesday's edition, recording out of Orlando, Florida. But I got to tell you guys, first before, I get into the show here today, the weather has been so crappy here. Florida battling the tropical storm Essa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think it's pretty much gone through the state already. So that's good news. I mean, it was windy as hell earlier today. But I mean, the family and I, we got some things done today. We went to go see the movie Cruella, which if anybody gets the chance to go see it, it's a phenomenal movie. Pretty much gets into the detail of the character Cruella de Vil, from the origins, from when she was a little girl up until current time. They get into a story that the actual movie, the cartoon, doesn't really get into too much. So, really enjoyed the movie. It was a good movie. I give it I'd say about a B+. Wasn't bad at all. But anyway, guys, welcome to today's show. Got a lot of topics to get into today. First, I want to get into what's going on, trending. Basically, I hope everybody enjoyed the last podcast I did over the weekend. last Friday. Didn't have a show on Monday, as you guys are well aware of, but I had a show last Friday on my current recent podcast. Got into trouble in Biden land. Yes, Biden is literally, when is he not, I mean, the man can't even answer a simple question from the press. It's getting bad. But I want to get into some I want to get into some other topics here. What's basically trending? Coffee in the daily or weekly trendy of news. What's this here? Biden promotes 4 more years of free government education. A teachers union pushes critical race theory. Yeah, guys, they're pushing this critical race theory more than ever in schools. And then, of course, Biden wants to promote 4 more years of free government education. What's this? It's President Joe Biden proposed 4 more years of free government education as the teachers union pushes critical race theory, CRT. The fact of the matter is, right, folks, we believe we should have a minimum of 14 years of education, Biden said in Illinois at the McHenry County College in Crystal Lake to promote his Trojan horse infrastructure proposal. He also said that I want to guarantee an additional 4 years of public education for every person in America, starting with providing 2 years of universal, high-quality preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds, Biden said. Also, he stated that I want to add 2 years of free community college for everyone. We can afford it, he claimed. Oh, yeah? Guys, where is he getting this crazy proposal? I mean, Biden's proposal, folks, to increase the length of time children and young adults spend in government schools comes as a CRT is causing just controversy across the country, with teacher unions promoting the Marxist-based ideology that divides people into the oppressor and the oppressed based on race. What kind of crap is that? I mean, seriously. I mean, this was reported just a few days ago on July 4th that the National Education Association, also known as NEA, has moved to openly promote the teacher or the teaching of CRT in grades K through 12 to oppose any bans on the instruction in both the Marxist ideology and the widely discredited New York Times, or otherwise known as the 619 Project. Folks, this is nuts. This is research of organizations attacking educators doing what referred to as an anti-racist work, as well as to use the research already done and put together a list of researches, right, or resources and recommendations for state affiliates, locals, and individual educators to utilize when they are attacked. Oh boy. I want to comment on something, and then I'm going to move along to other topics here on the show. Folks, how wrong is it to teach critical race theory to students as young as kindergarten? Not only is it going to destroy the child's youth of learning, but it's literally teaching them lies about our country's history. Racism shouldn't be taught, folks. It should not be taught in classrooms with a young age of students like that. It shouldn't be taught. I mean, simple as that. I mean, teaching kids about right and wrong is good. I agree with that. It's good. Teaching a child about right and wrong is good. Okay, but then going to a level of lying and teaching them things that are simply not true is just wrong, folks. You should not be able to get away with that. That's wrong. I mean, not only are you poisoning our future generation of youth, but you're teaching them things that just aren't true. Boy, I tell you, if that's not just wrong, and that's not, I mean, what is here, folks? You know, speaking of critical race theory and the critical race theory battle, okay, because, I don't know if anybody heard in the sound clip there, I plugged in the beginning of the show, opening it up, that Trump had a rally late last week going into the July 4th weekend. I hope everybody tuned into that rally. It was a really good rally. He was rallying out in Sarasota, Florida. Really, really good rally. Got into critical race theory, got into science, got into a lot of different topics. And, Trump is right. I mean, and we should listen to Trump. We should learn from Trump. Because Trump got into this critical race theory that, I mean, saying the same thing that I've said. It's wrong, folks. You should not be teaching this CRT or just, a group of lies to our future generation of youth. You're poisoning them. I mean, literally. Another article basically trending on the internet, folks, about critical race theory. And, why it's wrong and, why we shouldn't be teaching it. Saying that teaching slavery betrayed founding principles goes against what we have to teach. A critical race theory battle is like reopenings. I mean, you should be teaching about your country's history to your kids. Without a shadow of a doubt, yes, you should be. But then, when you're lying and you're mixing up the facts, these kids aren't really learning the origins of truth. They're not. Just because you don't like something, you shouldn't lie and say something entirely different. I mean, because then what's going to happen? The kid's going to get to a certain age, and by the time they get to their mid-20s, early 30s, they're going to have hate in their eyes, because it was taught to them at a young age. And that's what's going on, folks, in this country. That is what's going on with our, current and future youth. I mean, that's why these kids are protesting and they're overly sensitive, is because what they're being taught in schools and how the parenting is. Because, folks, this generation is entirely different. Entirely different. I want to plug in here on a show from a broadcast just literally earlier today on MSNBC's Deadline White House. It's a show that comes on, I guess, every Wednesday. And here's a sound clip here I'm going to plug in from a woman that's basically getting into the same thing, but on her view. Listen to this, guys. Check this out. I mean, this is crazy. Craziness, folks. Literally. From the American Federation of Teachers, President Randy Weingarten, if I'm pronouncing that right, criticized anti-critical race theory laws, saying that it contradicts the standards that our professional obligations tell us we have to teach, and cited that the Texas law as an example because it basically says that teachers are supposed to say that slavery is a betrayal of the founding principles of our country. Now, that's not true. I mean, folks, that's not true. It's not true. I mean, seriously, if you think that's true, you're just as dumbfounded as the media that's portraying this. I mean, you can believe anything you want to believe, but if you're going to believe this crap, you ought to just basically, kind of slap yourself up in the face. I mean, I'm not.
Joining us now is Randy Weingarten,
here it is, right here,
president of the American Federation of Teachers. So here you've been battling COVID and keeping kids and teachers safe to now battling what feels like right-wing disinformation. First, give me the facts. How do these laws, are they pulling textbooks out of the classroom? Are they reaching into schools' curriculum? Tell me what's actually happening for teachers on the front lines.
So first off, thank you, Nicole, for having us. And, we're in the middle of our...
Yeah, I'm going to stop it right there. This is, what are we, like in the middle of this pandemic? I don't know. Is there a middle? Is there an end? Is there a middle point, a pause point? Folks, we have states that literally have passed laws that contradict the standards of teaching. Literally. So basically the question then becomes, so what does that mean? We can't teach the Civil War. We can't teach that the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. We can't teach June 10th or 10th or whatever the hell it is now. We can't teach the Dred Scott decision. We can't teach the Emancipation of Proclamation. So what we've said to our members is that let's make sure that you can do what your professional obligations required, which is to teach an honest and accurate version of the history of the United States. Right, folks? Simple as that. Simple as that. You may not agree with the history of this country, but you cannot teach false history. You simply can't. You're going to listen to what this woman's telling you. Check this out, guys.
Our teach convention. So, we're, doing lots of different seminars right now for professional development for teachers for this whole week. But what's happening is that these states are making new law that contradict the standards that our professional obligations tell us we have to teach and we should be teaching. So I'll give you an example. Texas's new law basically says, and I'm not quoting it, but it basically says that teachers are supposed to say that slavery is a betrayal founding principles of our country. You know that that's not true. There's lots of great...
Yeah, we all know it's not true, folks. We all know it. We know it's not true. But the people that are upset about it, they're going to change it. They're gonna try to kind of modernize it, I guess, where there's a systematic racism involved, where they say, oh, that's something entirely different. But you know what, folks? They have to find something else to create the chaos and fear with. That's basically what's going on, folks. They want to change the narrative into their own agenda. And that's basically what's going on with this CRT, this critical race theory. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to poison our future youth. It really is. It's terrible.
Great founding principles of our country, but slavery was embedded in the Constitution. And so the question then becomes, so what does that mean? We can't teach the Civil War. We can't teach the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. We can't teach Juneteenth. We can't teach the Dred Scott decision. We can't teach the Emancipation Proclamation. So what we've said to our members is that let's make sure that you can do what your professional obligations require, which is to teach an honest and accurate version of the history of the United States. And yes, some of it is uncomfortable. Enslavement and discrimination are uncomfortable, but works to help kids become critical thinkers when they understand the facts, when they can look at diverse perspectives and draw their own conclusions. I think we become stronger if we can do that. And that's what I went through with my members yesterday and said that we will defend that, just like in the Scopes trial of old when we defended, against the, when people tried to stop the teaching of evolution. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and that's what you should do. Stop trying to change history. I'm serious, folks. That being said, I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and I'm going to get into some other heated topics here on the show. Don't go anywhere. Right back after these words.
I was born on the 4th of July. Grew some wings and learned to fly. Got a wind on my back just like I like. I said simplify, simplify. Don't know where to go.
Ready to simplify life with diabetes? Get started today with a free 30-day Omnipod DASH trial. Go to omnipod.com/free for risk information, instructions for use, and free trial terms and conditions. Consult your healthcare provider before starting on Omnipod. Simplify diabetes. Simplify life. Omnipod.
The Patriot Angle Podcast on demand.
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Presenting the Best of Fightin' collection, now on home video. Now you can enjoy all your favorite wacky moments from America's senile old granddad.
Well, you know, gay bathhouses and it's all about round-the-clock sex. It's all, come on, man.
Including sniffing a baby, awkward hugs, numbers are hard,
Go to Joe 30330.
corn pop,
And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
racism,
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
stupid troops,
Clap for that, you stupid bastard. You stupid bastard.
blank stare. Blank stare part 2. Chris is Chuck.
All right, Chuck, thank you very much.
All right, it's Chris, but anyway.
I just did Chris.
And many more.
Radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone, make sure the kids hear word.
But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and receive a free copy of Kamala's Kooky Tackles. That's right, 6 full hours of ear-piercing tackles that the whole family can enjoy. Here's how to order.
Welcome back to the show, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I hope everybody, folks. This is what's going on here. Okay, we have a president now in the office, in the Oval Offices of America. Come on, Mike, get it together. Don't act like Joey. We have a president in the office, the Oval Office, in the White House, that just simply can't get it done, folks. He can't get it done. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, we're seeing policy after policy fail policy. And on top of that, folks, if you think it gets even nuttier, I just got into critical race theory and where they want to basically pretty much, where they want to go with that. I don't want to even get involved with what they want to propose next because it's just wacky. It's nutty, folks. I mean, they're getting into some crazy, off the wall stuff. Off the wall stuff. In other news, check out. Oh yeah, AOC. Yeah, AOC influenced and questioned what? After Eric Adams defeats her picks for New York City mayor? What? What the hell is this now? I'm telling you, folks, these Democrats they're nuts. I mean, they have issues. We all know that that AOC is basically popular in her district. We all know that, folks. We all know that. But mayoral primary results indicate other parts of New York may not feel the same. Well, yeah, no kidding, because, what'd she do with the whole Amazon thing? You remember Amazon last year? Or was it last year or the year before that? That she says, oh yeah, it's no longer needed. We don't really need an Amazon in New York. Yeah, basically tossed out literally potential of thousands of jobs for people in that area of New York. Folks, this is the Democrats we're talking about. And then do you remember about a year and a half ago, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made headlines after she downplayed election wins for Democrats in solidly Democrat districts, including her own. She also mentioned Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and said a glass of water with a D next to it could win. Yeah, but folks, we all know she's a wonderful member of Congress, right? As I think all our colleagues will attest. That's what she said about AOC. But those are districts that are solidly Democrat. Basically, Pelosi said at that time. And then she, then it basically went into the comment was widely embraced by Republicans who have been trying to gouge Ocasio-Cortez influence on a much larger scale, And then she goes into saying, could she defeat Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in a race for the Senate? Could she be the mayor of New York? God, can you see Ocasio-Cortez running for mayor of New York? My God, that would be a disaster. Be a disaster for New York. Literally a disaster. I mean, not only is she a disaster as a representative in the House, in the Congress there. I mean, first of all, I don't even know how this woman got in. I've said it time after time. But, this is just, but according to, now sources saying, according to Ocasio-Cortez's congressional district, which is actually located in areas of the Bronx and Queens, according to a map of unofficial results from the first round of voting publishing, the Bronx overwhelmingly supported Adams, and while Wiley fared better in Queens, her support was largely limited to the western part of the borough, while the rest was mainly split among Adams, Garcia, and Andrew Yang. So she basically just won a little bit better in Queens than the Bronx. Like I said, how people voted for this woman is on me. It's crazy. Really is. It's nutty. But in other news, since we're talking about AOC, let's listen in to seeing how the Fraternal Order of Police takes on Ocasio-Cortez. Check this out, guys. Crazy. I'm telling you. As we're waiting for the sound clip to plug in, I do apologize, guys. I'm using the Wi-Fi here at the resort, because I'm recording here in the resort. But here we go. We have it now.
Now, I want to say that any amount of harm is unacceptable and too much. But I also want to make sure that this hysteria, that this doesn't drive a hysteria, and that we look at these numbers in context so that we can make responsible decisions about what to allocate in that context.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez facing criticism this week after dismissing fear of nationwide crime spikes as you heard her say, hysteria. Native New Yorker and veteran Desi Cuellar is looking to challenge AOC in 2022 and joins me now with his reaction. Thanks for being here. I mean, you heard her preface it by saying, look, none of this is okay. But then she goes on to talk about hysteria, and it seems like that just buries everything that she said previously. Then what is your reaction?
I mean, it's to be honest, it's disgraceful. It's, her downplaying it all, saying that it's just hysteria, as if it's all in our heads. It makes her as cold and callous about people losing their lives. I mean, as Cuomo was when he downplayed the COVID-19 nursing home deaths.
So what made you decide to want to challenge her?
I got tired of having somebody that claims to represent the Hispanic community, me being a Latino myself. It's just the fact that she calls herself a democratic socialist when socialism has destroyed so many Hispanic lives, families. I mean, it's just, I don't think that somebody who is embarrassed of this country should have any business holding public office. So I had to do something about it, and that's why I decided to run.
Wow.
Good for you. Good for you, man. Good for you. And I hope, I really do hope that he gets the solid W, the solid win, because this woman is, she's got no clue what the hell she's doing. No clue. I've said it time after time. AOC, you got to go back to the Bronx or Queens or wherever the hell you're from and go back to bartender, because this woman doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Doesn't know what the hell she's doing, and she's just spitting out anything basically right now. No political experience, doesn't even know how to handle anything, really. I tell you, tell you, what are we going to talk about here today? I want to get into a couple other stories here. Some really good stories here, folks. Got into the critical race theory, got into AOC, got into the talked about the border crisis earlier this week. We got into big story coming out of big tech, the hysteria of big tech. They're going after free speech. They're doing this. They're doing that. Coming out of a story coming out of Quentin Tarantino, saying now he says, I would far rather people watch movies for free on YouTube than giving another dime to Amazon or Apple. Yeah, I feel the same way. Because, why should we continue to give our hard-earned money to a company that's just going to censor us? I mean, they're out to censor the crap out of us. Just get into the story here. Last week, film director Quentin Tarantino said he would prefer people to watch movies, on YouTube than paying for streaming services such as Amazon or Apple. As far as I'm concerned, YouTube is one of the best training platforms out there to watch movies, and I would far rather people watch movies for free on YouTube than giving another damn dime to either Amazon or Apple, Quintino said on a most recent edition. Where's my words at today? On a recent edition of Pure Cinema podcast. The Kill Bill and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood director continued, folks. They do not need your dimes. So why would you... So I would rather you support these really, especially the committed movie channels that are on YouTube who are offering their shit up for just free, just out of love for the film. Yeah, basically, he's basically saying, now in a case of YouTube, there are entire channels that are set up to films that are public domain, Quentin Tarantino remarked. Even if they're not on public domain, the people in the studios apparently that own that kind of them don't give a shit about them, so they're allowed to go and get out there and basically just rob you blind. I mean, he went into like deep detail here. I agree, folks. I literally agree. And there's a lot of different people just going with the so-called we need to stop big tech, we need to stop funding them. JD Vance even said Google is conspiring with communist Chinese government. What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He appeared Tuesday on Fox News' Primetime. Ohio Republican U.S. Senate candidate J.D. Vance accused Google of conspiring with the communist government of China. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to listen to this here.
J.D. Vance, Republican Senate candidate, who joins me now. J.D., for some of us, a lot of Republicans talk too much about, lowering sales tax rates in the cocktail bar of the Titanic. You seem to be a bit more urgent about some of the big picture questions.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mark, and thanks for having me on. And if folks are interested, please go to jdvance.com to learn more about our campaign. I mean, look, I think we're facing an existential crisis in this country where you have the leadership of the country that really doesn't seem to care about the country or the people who live in it. They are undercutting our wages through mass immigration. They're shipping a lot of our manufacturing base off to China, allowing the Chinese to build their middle class on the backs of ours. And they're increasingly unwilling to even reckon with their own failure. And so if you're a normal guy looking at your country going to hell and you complain about it, they call you a racist or a bigot or a xenophobe or maybe just a garden variety idiot. And I think somebody needs to step up and say, look, this is not okay. It's not okay to plunder this country that our grandparents and our parents built. It's also not okay to shoot us down, to censor us on our big tech platforms every time that we want to complain about it. And both of those things are happening. The economic war against the middle class, the cultural war against traditional American values, and I think they're very related.
Yeah, me too. I mean, folks, we're already seeing that big tech companies are already bigger than most nations on Earth. And the few nations they are not bigger than, such as China, they are entering into a Malong alliance with. And yet the right spends its time having these sort of college dorm room abstract discussions about the issue. That's exactly right. Google right now, folks, is actively conspiring with and working with the Chinese government. I mean, we're starting to see that. They've actually been very open about this. At the same time, the 29-year-old basically wrote, idiots who work at Google refuse to left. You won't want to miss it, folks. Be right back. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by Spin Scooter Rental. Spin scooters, I love them, guys. They're just about in every major city today. You could find them in major cities such as Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Atlanta, Georgia. Just about every major city has these scooters just popping up all over the place. Sidewalks, city parks, major business establishments. If you are into exercising, if you're into the scooter trend now of 2021, don't forget to download that app, the Spin Scooter, okay? You could be buzzing around the city in style at 15 miles an hour. Yes, folks, these scooters, these electric scooters, they go about 15 miles an hour. I happen to use these scooters from time to time. They're very modern, they're very aerodynamic, and they're very stylish scooters. So yeah, download that app, Spin, okay? It's on Google Play and the App Store. Check them out, guys. They're just about everywhere. Spin scooters. The Patriot Angle Podcast on demand. All right, folks, back here. If critical race theory is not bad, folks, it just, you got to listen to this here. Cori Bush literally saying July 4th is for white people. Black people still aren't free. What? Why are they pushing this crap, folks? Do these people really want this country to be divided? And then he goes into saying America is stolen land. Well, if you think so, why are you supposedly on this stolen land? If you're literally accusing it, if it's stolen land, then why are you here? Right? I mean, if you're not happy with America, you can always go back to, where your ancestors came from, and maybe that area might be better, right? In your perspective, right? I mean, am I right or wrong, folks? Literally. Why would you say that? That July 4th is for white people. Black people still aren't free. America is stolen land. I mean, what is wrong with these representatives? Like, why are they pushing this? Why? And then they go into saying Independence Day is about freedom for whites while blacks still aren't free. Cori Bush basically saying this past Sunday, accordance with the left-wing style pushed by news media of capitalizing black but not white, in reference to people, Bush tweeted. Yeah, had to put that out on there on Twitter, on his Twitter account. Oh, but is Twitter gonna shadow ban him? Are they gonna censor him? No, of course not. They love that. That fits their narrative. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for them to do that. But when a conservative actually says something true, whether it's about the media, whether it's about a public figure, they'll get shadow banned. They'll be put in what they call now Facebook or Instagram or Twitter jail for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. They'll suspend their account or possibly even go to the extremes of deleting it. But then when you have a representative such as Cori Bush saying that Independence Day or July 4th is more for white people than black people because blacks are still not free, that is okay. Folks, where are we going? Like, seriously, where are we going as a country? I mean, you know, and then they go into saying, when they say that the 4th of July is about American freedom, remember this, the freedom that they're referring to is for white people. This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free. Why would you say that? Why? Why would you even tweet about that? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you really a hateful person, Cori Bush? Like, do you really want to have people divided? Like, seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? Folks, these people are demented, delusional, hateful, crazy people. I mean, we're starting to see that. I mean, you know, and then you go into Bush's congressional campaign in 2020, basically aligned herself with BLM, otherwise known as Black Lives Matter. She became the first black congresswoman from Missouri. She has regularly framed politics in racial terms, using phrases such as white supremacy and systematic racism, black liberation and racial justice, structural inequality. She called for unspecified reparations in pursuit of equality, according to Bush. Yeah, that was according to herself. Okay? She's pushing this critical race theory like it's a racist dog whistle. Like, literally, like, all white people are evil bastards. I mean, that's what basically she's saying. Just this past May, she used the leftists basically referring to as birthing people while alleging that doctors don't care about the pain of blacks, she tweeted. That was back in May. And then she writes here in another tweet. I mean, this woman is like, you know, it's okay for her to do that. But, you know, if people like, you know, conservatives like Trump, if they go to tweet something, oh, no, they got that right away. They're suspended. And another tweet. I mean, this woman is like a tweet queen or something. Every day, black birthing people and our babies die because our doctors don't believe our pain. My children almost became a statistic, and I almost became a statistic. I testified about my experience at Oversight Dems today. Hear this. Believe us, because for so long, nobody has. Another tweet. Oh, boy, I tell you, folks, you know. And then she goes more into the July 4th bashing. I mean, you know, folks, this woman is out, literally out, to like just to divide us more. This is where the Dems are going with this, folks. Literally bashing every American holiday as not just honoring America, but it honors only white supremacy, only white people. I mean, what are you going to say next? A Christmas is just more for white people than black people? You know, I'm afraid where this country's going. It's going down really dangerous, bad paths. But, you know, more with this Cori Bush story. She doubled down just this past Sunday, folks, after demming Independence Day, yeah, a celebration of freedom for white people, and only claiming black people still aren't free. White calling to end police violence, and health care and housing and education. You know, she even made waves July 4th after claiming that the freedom celebrated on Independence Day will never apply to black people. I mean, she literally says this. Like, what? And then she goes to say, we know what our own freedom looks like. End the slavery permitted under the 13th Amendment end the war on drugs and end police violence. How about we do that for the entire country, not just for a certain ethnicity or a certain color grade, and that for the entire country. Yes, I don't want to see police violence. I don't want to see drugs in the street. Why don't we end all that for all Americans? Stop this race theory crap. Stop playing the race card. Stop it. You know? But will the Dems stop it? Will they ever stop this hysteria that we're facing here in this country? I want to say yes, but I'm sadly saying no, because that's their monologue. You know, that's what they want to do. Especially the tech and big tech and fake news. Yeah, that's what they want to do. That's their monologue. They want to use this and literally use it not only to divide this country more, because, folks, I think this country is more divided now than it has ever been in its entire course of history. I mean, it's terrible. It's really bad. Folks, I want to close out the show right now by saying that, in order to stop all this madness, what you see, it's not by allowing yourself to elect better individuals in office. You know what's going to change this country? You. You are the ultimate choice maker. You can allow yourself to listen to these idiots. You can allow yourself to listen to these idiots, become more brainwashed, okay? But guess what, folks? Do you think these people actually care of the message that they're actually preaching? No, they can care two shits, because you don't have to listen to that. You could choose to ignore it. It's the only way this country is going to get better. Like people like you to ignore the crap that is being preached to you on a daily basis. With that being said, folks, thank you for tuning in to today's show. Hope you learned something. Remember, you can hear our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, as well as our social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on both platforms. That being said, folks, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next show.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.